All right, we back. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Tara Terry Radio Show right here on Nice Radio, Iheartlive365.com. I can't hear my mic. Did it go out or is it straight? Okay, cool. So yeah, now we ready for our comedian of the week, our spotlight comedian of the week, and I have none other than my friend, my mentor, my brother. I love him so much. None other than the one and only Damon Williams on the phone. Come on, somebody. Hey, give me some.
Let's get it.
Yes, indeed. We got Damon on the phone, baby. How you doing?
I'm doing great now. I'm on the Tara Terry Radio Show on 365 Live, Iheartradio, and
hey. That's what I'm talking about, Damon. I mean, he needs no introduction. I mean, he does everything. He does everything under the sun. I just give him just a brief rundown of everything. Give him a brief rundown, Damon.
Well, it all started when my mother and father had sex, and then...
You know what? Not that far. Not that far. Come on up a little bit. Come on up.
Well, I'm around Chicago, of course, running Riddle's Comedy Club, where you will be on the third. No, that's the 23rd, 24th, whatever that is, that weekend.
Yeah.
With Sonia D and my girl Marcy and a bunch of other funny people.
Yeah.
I do that every week. We try to keep that going for people in town to come get some laughs, some good grown and funny is what I call Chicagoland's home of grown and funny.
Yes.
You and I were talking off the air. I'm real proud of this film. It's called Heaven on 7.
Yes.
Written and directed by Chicago's own B. Cole.
Mm-hmm.
And he trusted me with that. And, it's been through so many obstacles and hoops to get to where it is. But now we are proud to say it's broadcasted on, streaming on Tubi, which everybody with a Fire Stick got Tubi because it's free.
Yeah.
So you get to see the movie with a bunch of Chicago comedians throughout it. Plus, it's just a great feel-good movie. You can watch it with your family. Ain't no cussing in it or nothing. So that's cool.
I've seen it like 3 times already.
Yeah, because your people's in it. You know
yes.
what I mean?
Yes.
Well, this Saturday, though, we celebrate Leon's birthday, Leon Rogers from WGCI, iHeartRadio. Morning show, Destin Legend. His birthday is actually tomorrow.
Yeah, shout out to Leon.
I'm gonna run out to his spot tonight, but it's his takeover weekend at Riddle's, but he gonna dip and go open for Earthquake at the Chicago Theater.
All right.
Earthquake and Donnell Rollins and me and Just Nisha be over there too. So that's the current stuff right now.
Hey.
But I'm here to call in to talk about Tara Terry on the radio. What it be? What it do?
Hey, like you said, I'm going to be featuring at Riddle's Comedy Club out there at Alsop, Illinois, which the one and only on the phone, Damon Williams, will be hosting. And that is on, I believe, the 22nd and the 23rd. I'll be there.
Yes.
But I also do have the House of Blues coming up. That's in Chicago, downtown Chicago. And that'll be July the 14th. So that's coming up
awesome.
too. Yeah, that's
awesome.
coming up too. But Damon, you've done a lot of work in this industry and considered to be definitely one of the great kings of comedy in my book. So I just want you to know, I want to know what drove you to this, what gave you to this, because I knew I did my research. Now I did my research, and I know that you did some rapping back in the day, and then also you was in the comedy scene as well, but you stuck with the comedy thing. So I want to know what drove you to just stick with it like you have all these years.
Well, it's my life has went like this. I went from trapping to rapping to scrapping, because comedy is definitely a grind. And, people ask me, well, how do you stay in it, or what keeps you relevant, or what motivates you? You haven't hit the super big time yet, but you still do constant work. And the answer to all of those questions is bills. That's what motivates me. Yeah. Bills come, they're unrelenting. Bills came through COVID. Bills fought through the quarantine. Yes. Bills don't stop. But I actually enjoy the vibe of a room full of people laughing. And that's it's been a joy of mine to observe since I was a little kid, watching late night shows and Bill Cosby and all them cats, Red Fox back in the day, Richard Pryor and all, Eddie Murphy, all that. So
Yeah.
That combined with the fact that opportunity was presented, in the 90s with the Def Jam explosion of black comedy. So I came in right at the renaissance of black comedy. I jumped in right there, and I just never looked back. I was trying to be an entrepreneur before I got into this game. I used to own a Subway sandwich shop, but this was before Jared lost all that weight, and nobody didn't know what Subway was. But he was still a fat pedophile back then, so he wasn't helping sales. But I found out being an entrepreneur in a franchise is really just being a glorified owner and a fast food worker, because you can't let people run your register if you ain't there to watch it. And so I'm in there baking bread and cutting tomatoes, and that wasn't my plan. So sold up out of there and jumped out of it all. Jokes aside, started doing comedy, got some opportunity. Comedy Central came to Chicago looking for comics, early 90s. I jumped into that with a show called Comic Justice, which was hosted by AJ Jamal and presented by Sinbad and his brother. So that was a dope little move, and they came to All Jokes Aside to film it. Okay. And that got me a leg up in the game early, and I just never stopped. You know what I'm saying? Comic View came around. I got overlooked for Def Jam several times, and I look back at it as a blessing, because my style didn't really fit Def Jam back then, and the jokes that I might have done on Def Jam would have gone over okay, but they went over better on Comic View, because Comic View was, more family friendly, more TV oriented, and it was a competition, so I wouldn't have used them jokes, and those jokes helped me win, and that's how I got my first little comedy special. So that's the little history in a nutshell. Chicago always been a mecca for comedy. We got the greats like Bernie Mac, may he rest in peace. Robin Harris, rest in peace. Red Fox was not born here, but he grew up here. Richard Pryor was up the street in Peoria, Illinois. So, we got a long legacy. And then all the Def Jam greats, after Bernie was Adele, she flipped it. George Wilbur, Kenny Howe, Tony Scott, Deion Cole, they all ran through Def Jam. Sonya D, them earlier. They got a chance to get on there when Martin was hosting. And so, that led me, just to strive harder to get, my shots after I didn't get Def Jam. Luckily, though, being at Comic View, I met Sid. I'd already met him at the crib. He hosted my episode. And Sid and DL became friends of mine from, All Jokes Aside. And that's how I ended up, of course, with Bernie. And I knew Steve opening for the Kings of Comedy. So there's been some lot of plateaus and a lot of, triumphs. So anybody doing anything, first of all, if you love it and you can stick with it, you should be able to be successful at some given time if you become good at it and you dedicate yourself to the craft. And that could be anything, accounting, you could be a plumber, an apprentice, drywaller, it ain't just got to be entertainment. And there's so many industries out here that our people don't even delve into that make, six-figure income. Like one thing I noticed, I never see black people out there on the street with that little chalk that they mark off the little surveyors, and the guy had a little telescope looking thing and you go down the block, right? They mark where your gas is, you know what I'm saying? You never see black people doing that. We need to find out what that pay, what it take to get in that industry, because there ought to be some little white dude with a hard hat and a vest in the hood marking off the sidewalk with the little telescope thing. So let's look into that.
Yeah. If they hiring, I go ahead and apply for it.
Yeah, let's get some apprenticeships in that, because it can't be that hard. One little telescope thing and some spray paint, and man's out here making money. I bet he's feeding his family and living in Naperville off the can of spray paint and the telescope thing. Let's look into that. You never see a black person on the construction site with the sign that says stop, go, yield, stop. That's an easy job. You can just twist the sign. It's usually some white woman. Let's look into that. Can't take much. They couldn't require a degree to do none of this.
You're right. Who is dipping the pickles at the pickle factory? I want to know.
How about that? Somebody got to tighten them jars, because they be mighty tight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to apply for all of that. That's what
Who is putting the M on the M&Ms? We need to know what it takes to get the M on the M&Ms and writing Skittles on Skittles. You can't require a college degree for none of this.
None of this. Everybody should be able to do it. You are absolutely
six-figure incomes right there in our face.
In our face, and ain't nobody taking advantage of it. Man, look, I'm trying to tell you, this interview has been all of that, and then some. I didn't want to take too much of your time, because I know Damon is a man of many talents. Not only is he a comedian, but he probably got to commit, do heart surgery in about 3 minutes because he do everything. You talking about the hardest working man in the comedy field? I believe it would be Damon Williams all day. I believe that, hands down. So I just want to take the time and say thank you so much for taking the time to bless my radio show. I really appreciate it, and I'm so looking forward to working with you at Riddles, which is in Alsip, Illinois, on July 22nd, 23rd, that weekend. And again, thank you so much. Please give your wife my love. I love her. Please do.
Looking forward to it, seeing you, and then I'll be hitting you back on the show some other time. You know, this ain't got to be the last time. Let's get it in.
For sure. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This has been my comedian spotlight of the week. None other than Damon Williams of Chicago, Illinois, doing his thing. Thank you so much, Damon. I love you. I appreciate you, brother.
Love you back. See you in a couple weeks.
All right, babe. Later.
All right. Love.
Yep.